Good evening.
Good evening, yes.
Welcome again by this Facebook Live event from Conscious World Agents, the CWA. And for the person who is just watching and never seen us before, my name is Arturo Massaro.
And my name is Claudia van Zuiden.
And both we are the co-founders of CWA, and again, Conscious World Agents. Every Friday we will have a Facebook Live event. This is, I think, our fourth,
I think.
Fourth,
yeah. The live one, yeah.
So, and we are always excited to do this. And what we're going to do, we're going to share a little bit about what we wrote this week with our posts. Mm-hmm. We're going to deepen it out. Is that the right word in English? We're going to dive in a little bit deeper. And at the end, you can ask us some questions. There's a Q&A. So if you have a question, please write it down in the chat, and then we will answer it at the end of this event. Anything to add?
Yeah, and also if you're watching later and you still have a question, then you can also add that to the feed, and then when we have time, then we come back to it and we'll try and answer then as well. So great to see you here who's watching at the moment. And yeah, let's start with what we wrote about this week, and that's what we want to do. And yeah, maybe you want to start.
Shall I start or you?
You can start.
I can start. Okay. Well, one of my posts was about shine your light, be bright. And why was this post there? What I see, and to be honest, sometimes also in my own life, is that we forget how beautiful we are. We already have the light in us that we can shine to our outside world. And why is that so important? If you don't shine your light, you still have a shadow, but the shadow is diffused, it's gray, it's not clear, it's not sharp. And then you don't know what your shadow, your dark side is. And we will all be triggered in life. As soon as you raise your vibration and you shine your light brighter, the shadow will be smaller, but also much more clear and sharper. And there's also a little bit of downside. It will be also a little bit darker. But it will be so clear for you what your dark side is, what the shadow side of yourself is. And that can be, for instance, thinking in lack, fear of rejection, feeling not worthy, all these kind of things. And how can you shine your light brighter? And this now it comes, that's sometimes a little bit difficult. You need to face that dark side. You need to have the courage to go a little bit deeper down the rabbit hole. And look at it. Why is this happening to me? And as soon as you know what it is, it's so much easier to deal with it in your daily life. And that's in your relationship, that can be related to your work, but also related, for instance, to your finance. So as soon as you shine more light, your shadow will be smaller, more bright, more dark, but also sharper, and you can change it.
You know, I have a question about it.
I felt your eyes already, yeah. You have definitely a question to me.
Yeah. My questions are always, because I find it fascinating. But I think maybe also, you know, when you say about the dark side, that dark side doesn't mean negative side as well.
No, definitely
it's just part
not.
of what we are.
Yes.
And we have given it a label as dark and light and whatever, but that's not really necessary. But what are the benefits, the true benefits of knowing both sides, you think, of ourselves? Like having the side that's maybe not so beneficial and the side that is more beneficial.
Yeah, well, as soon as you know what also your shadow side is, you can choose how you want to act and react in a situation. If you don't know this, if you don't have it clear for yourself, what will happen is that your subconscious mind is taking over. It's just going on automatic pilot and show the behavior that it always does in that same situation, towards that same person maybe, but also what you hear from the outside world to yourself, what people say to you. And every time when you react without really having the conscious decision in this and conscious choice, most of the times it's your, let's say, the shadow side that's coming up. And once you know it, you can choose between them. I don't say you can never be angry again. You can never be frustrated again. That's not what I say. But as soon as it's a conscious decision, the charge behind it is totally different and the energy behind it is totally different. And then you're in control instead of the subconscious mind that's in control. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, it makes sense. And also I think it's important that we know why that is helpful in our lives, because we all get our triggers. And then, you know, I want to talk about that a bit later as well. And it's those triggers that make us, give us a choice to say, right, we're going to react like this, or we're going to respond like that. So, and we all know that certain reactions and responses are more helpful than other ones. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and I experienced that this last week for myself, and I went down the rabbit hole, and it's not always feeling comfortable, but that's also not why it's there. What happens after you faced, at least with me, and I think with most people, after you face your shadow side and you know why it's there, it's also relief. You feel, oh yes, that's it. And then again, you can, the next time, you can choose what you want, how you want to act, react, how you want, maybe not acting at all. That's also a choice. But then it's a choice from you instead of the subconscious mind.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell some more about that? Or?
No, I think it's, if people have questions, please do. But I think for so far it's what I want to share.
Nice. Yeah, and also people ask me as well, what conscious world agents, what does that stand for, you know?
Nice.
And that is, we're all human beings, or some say spiritual beings, but we are more than just this physical body. Apparently, science is also showing that. So, and I certainly know that for myself, that I'm much more than just this physical body. And I also know that my mind is so has such potential, and I can really develop that even further, and by raising my consciousness. And when I do that, I create my reality in relation to how I think. Yeah. So I can choose how my reactions are going to be. And then I also attract then what will come in my reality. So if I say, for example, you would say something to me and I get really angry, there is a chance that you say, whoa, you know, you're also starting to react a little bit on that. And when you're a bit conscious, you can maybe see for what it is and say, okay, what's going on with you and whatever. But somewhere else, you might get straight away a reaction to that. Yeah. So my post was about that your freedom inside starts with a thought. And I think that's what the consciousness is about, that you have a choice in what you were saying earlier and what you're going to think. And that creates such a freedom inside yourself, because you're not then, how can I say, running that program, like we said before, but you really have an opportunity of choices. And which ones are you going to pick? And I think that's also something we can maybe discuss further in conscious leadership. Yeah. You know, that your personal leadership, but also at work. You know, when your staff or your team is really reactive, how are you? Are you reactive on that? Or are you actually being able to say, oh, okay, I can see it for what it is. And if I want to create a different outcome, I'm the only one who can make a change here. How I'm going to take that a step further, you know, and then that is obviously also going to have an effect on the outer world and your team and your colleagues or your relationships and so forth. So yeah, my post was about that, and conscious world agent. I consider myself a conscious world agent, and yourself, and also, you know, people who are here, who are saying, right, you know, you want to create your own reality that is from a high energy and a positive outlook, and you want to learn how to work with things like the shadow side, you know, things that are not so helpful, that keeping you away from your potential. And you don't want to judge those, you don't want to feel bad around it. You can just experience them, you know, but you can also explore them and then, encounter different outcomes depending on your reaction. So.
Yeah, I like what you say, don't judge it. And why shouldn't we judge it, do you think? What is your...
I think then you also put a label on it straight away, and then when we judge it, it also can have a negative impact on, you know, on the experience. And it is actually, it's neutral. If you can see it as such, and that will have an effect, because if you then feel guilty, or I shouldn't be feeling like this, or I should this, the famous shoulds, you know, I should be doing this, I should be thinking this, blah blah blah. Actually, when you let go of all the shoulds, then it just is. Right now, I am feeling like this. And as we know, these emotions come and go, so we don't really have to grasp those emotions, or that gives a sense of freedom on itself. So making choices, that is for me where the freedom starts. So.
Yeah, that's nice. And then one of the things about judgment is you judge yourself about a behavior or a habit that you have that once helped you in your earlier age. That's the reason why you show this. So somewhere it was helpful for you
then,
at that moment, maybe when you were 10 years old or 20 years old, and now you're a little bit older, and it's not helping. But if you judge it, that's exactly what you said, then you put a label, and it's going to be much heavier, and it's so hard then to let go.
It can be hard, indeed, Great, okay, nice. Well, what was your other post about?
My other post, okay, it was about peace, feeling peace. And what I wrote was that peace is a choice. We all will have difficulties in our life, whether it's financial, relationship, work-related, maybe you don't know the meaning in life, you want more fulfillment, and so on. We all have this. We all have our ups and we all have our downs. But the way you react on this, and I like the thread between all these posts when I hear it. The way you react determines the outcome. And you can react and blame other people, blame the society, blame the government. But you can also take the responsibility. And responsibility is the ability how you respond to a situation, how you respond to a situation. I'm learning in English, you know, every time.
I'm still learning. I lived nearly 30 years in the UK and I'm still learning, so there you go.
And for me, basically, one reaction gives you energy, you feel it, and the other one is draining your energy. And you can choose. And what is the benefit if you make that conscious decision in actions and response that gives you energy? You feel much more peaceful inside. You're showing much more compassion to other people. You don't have to compete every time again and again and saying, no, this is right. No, it's okay. It doesn't mean that you accept everything, no, but you don't have to compete. You can be clear. You don't have to be firm, but you can be clear in what you say. You also feel more appreciation to all the things that you have. You show much more gratitude to everything around you, but also inside of you. And for me, that's why peace is a choice. I can choose how I react in that certain moment. And as soon as you do that, you will raise your vibration, and with that you will raise your the level of consciousness. And that's why we also started this CWA, the Conscious World Agents. How can we raise all of us our level of consciousness, so that we can find the meaning in life, our potential, and look for the possibilities instead of only for most of the times, look at the negative things.
Yeah, I think that is marvelous, and I really feel also something came with me there as well. I read today on somebody's Facebook post, it was that we're all in the same storm, but it's what boat do you have? Yeah. What boat do you have in that storm, you know, and how safe is your boat? And for me, that is your mind. Yeah. You know, we're all in this challenging situation at the moment, but it is how can we sail through that storm without going overboard, you know, and getting caught up in the waves and whatever. Yeah. So there's very many methodologies around that. But that for me was like, I want to choose in all these things that are happening that I'm maybe not so happy about. In the outer world, I want to say, well, how am I going to be in that? Because if I get really upset and all that, that's not going to help me or anybody else. So what can I do to choose?
Yeah, and basically that's also personal leadership. And why do I say it? I once wrote a quote from, I forgot who wrote that, but it said, the best ship in a storm is leadership. And
that's nice.
That's one that's always stuck with me then after that. So, and I said it already earlier, you will come in a storm at a certain moment in your life. Yeah. But it's, do you take leadership, or are you going to start to blame?
Yeah, indeed. Or, you know, or wallow in the misery. Yeah. That's also a choice. And sometimes it's good just to feel upset, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, but there's no need to maybe stay in that. Because even it's shown that when we start to smile a bit, how pathetic it maybe might sound, but it appears that if we start to smile just a few times a day, straight away our brain starts to react on it and something lifts us up. It's bizarre.
Shall we do this activity with them for 1 minute?
What do you want to do?
Okay. Well, think now about the situation that you didn't like the last 2 months. Don't go in a deep trauma. Just think about the situation that you were not happy with. Maybe it was a person, maybe it had something to do with your work. It doesn't matter. Feel it right now. Just feel how you felt then. Do you feel frustration, anxiety? Maybe you were angry, or you felt rejection. Doesn't matter, just feel it. And notice how your face probably is and your body language also.
I can feel it.
Yeah? Okay. And now just make a smile on your face. Just a smile, even fake it, it's okay. Just make that smile. And think about that same situation. And if you notice something, you can also write it down in the chat. But what do you notice? What do you notice when you have that smile on your face and you try to think about that situation again? For me, it's so hard, so difficult to go to that situation again. Although when I don't smile and I'm going to sit like this, I can feel it again. And I don't say that situation was never there, but this helps you also to react different. At least to look in from a different position to the same situation.
Nice.
Yeah?
Well, that takes me to my post of that other position.
Oh, yeah,
Remember,
that's great.
That was
That's great. And in the meantime,
you're gonna have a look.
don't think I'm not there. I'm just look at my PC if there is something.
Okay, yeah, it would be lovely to hear what you experienced as well when you did that exercise with Arturo. And that takes me to what I wrote about the other day, that I was also caught in a thought, and I was lying awake a little bit at night. And I thought, right, shall I meditate on this, or what do I need to know? And I thought, okay, let's look at this. And I looked into the thought, what was the essence of that thought? And when I really started to zoom into that, from taking my mind a little bit higher, like I was like an eagle, and I was looking at what was really going on in this situation, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the essence of what was really going on. And that surprised me, because sometimes you might know, oh, this is the reason, or that is the reason, but there was nothing that I could grasp on. And it was such a liberation, because it made me really realize that it wasn't worth giving it so much attention anymore. Yeah. And sometimes we have those thoughts that keep going on in our head, and they're actually not worth our attention. And normally I'm quite aware of that, but this time it was just like an experiment, I think. Yeah. And what happened, that was the amazing thing.
Really amazing, yeah.
I felt like this current in my head when I had that realization, like from left brain, right brain, like something was trying to connect with each other. And I actually went like, to you, like, what's going on in my head? But there was nothing, so I didn't do that. So it was like, just let it happen. But it was a really bizarre situation. And it really reinforced again for me the importance of meditation. And it was like an acknowledgement of how necessary it is to take that meta position, that overview, because when I went further and further in that meditation, it was like I was going away from the earth, not being an eagle anymore, but really in space. And when we become more spacious in our mind, we also become more spacious in our heart, and that gives us a very different view on the situation. So I find that also very, very helpful, and it really helped me to do more of that.
Yeah. Do you also think that you are more creative then at that moment when you zoom out, or?
I was more calm, I think, and more spacious.
Okay.
So there wasn't really like, oh, this or that. It was just like much more space for things to occur that made sense. Okay. Yeah, so that helped. That helped for me. So, yeah, very good week we had, didn't we?
Yeah, a lot of nice opportunities and possibilities. And one of the persons we spoke this week with is Leila, and she is also reacting. Yeah, she's
nice.
Watching, and
Hi,
she put a comment in there.
Okay.
And Leila says it's also, you need courage to face your shadow side, and
absolutely,
that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that also our subconscious mind has, it wants to survive, and survival is by fighting or flee, so flight.
Yes.
And once you're in that modus, it's difficult to stop there. Mm-hmm. So you need to take a breath. If you feel it already coming up, breathe deeply. Okay, what do I really want? Mm-hmm. And just what I said, what are the benefits? What would be the benefit if I face now my shadow side? At the end, not at that moment, because you need courage and it's not always nice, but the benefits after that is feeling more peaceful, more warm-hearted, also more worthy for yourself. Yeah. So you're totally right, Leila. You need courage.
Yeah. And I would add to that also curiosity.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Because that ego, that subconscious level, is still running on safety. Yeah. It's like, this is what I know, right? Yeah. But when we stop there and we can go then the safety road, or we can go into the curious road, I have not a clue what's going to happen. Yeah. Many surprises can come out of that. Yeah. And they are also then, you're going out of your comfort zone, but things that are more likely to happen, they might surprise you. Yeah. And you might find things that are less heavier on your mind, less heavier on your heart, and so forth. But the curiosity, what if, as those children are great at that, The
They can let go.
They just lie in there and they just want to learn, and they lie in a field and they ask all these questions to the point that you go, will you just be quiet for a moment?
Yeah.
But they have this curiosity, so they're constantly just experiencing.
Yeah.
And I think that is the what we want with Conscious World Agent, that you experience consciously the experience.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Instead of being reactive, being creative. And that's the same letters, only you take the C out of reactive and you put it in front.
Nice.
And that's the C of consciousness.
Yep.
That's the C of being calm.
And Claudia? Oh, God.
And I see also Karin Schepers is looking, is
Hi,
watching
Karin.
also.
Wonderful.
And she reacted on what we did with smiling with the face, the smile on your face, and what's happening then if you think back on the difficult moment. And she said it feels so much lighter.
Yeah, nice.
That's it. That's true. That's so nice to experience.
Yeah. Hi, Karen. So that was a bit about our this week, and next week we're going to choose another level of that. We want to talk about
the self-consciousness. We talked a lot about the subconscious level. Our posts after the weeks after were also a little bit about the subconscious level.
Yeah.
And we want to explain a little bit more about the self-conscious level. That is the level a little bit higher than the subconscious level. And what would be the benefit for that? And how can you also apply it in your daily job, daily life, so that you can raise your level of consciousness, but also your vibration.
Mm-hmm. So that, we're going to write a post about that, both of us, and we'll discuss it a little bit more. And also, we invite you then to be here with us, and we're probably going to be here at the same time next week in the evening, or?
Yeah. Next Friday and the week after that, at least, we have a training online that we give to a company. Yeah. So we cannot do it during the day.
So we'll do it in the evening. So, and we have some other great news as well.
Oh, you want to share also something?
Well, we want to invite every month a guest speaker to these Facebook Live talks that we have with you, and we have an amazing lineup already, but I can't say anything yet. But next month we are going to have a wonderful guest speaker who's a great dear friend of ours, and he is wonderful, and we're going to talk about probably, if that's all going ahead, about conscious leadership. So tune in for that, and that's probably be on the 12th of February. Yeah. So, but that might be an afternoon time. So, but we'll put that in the post as well. So if you can be there, and that would be fabulous. And then we have the day still.
Of course, we have our CWA Experience Day. That's a day that you can experience and explore your level of consciousness, and also try to expand it. Mm-hmm. And with that, also discover at least the first steps to your meaning of life, to your purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to lead a fulfilling life, and exploring ways how to do that. So that is on the 13th of February, Saturday. Yeah. And if you check on our event pages from Conscious World Agent, you can find some information. We've already wonderful people signed up for that, so we're really looking forward. Yeah. If it's not possible to do it live here in Bussum, then we'll go online. But it's all in there, so have a look, and we'd love you to be there and spread the word, so we can have a lot of conscious people in the world, much more. There's so many people doing this already, and let's just all come together and create more of that.
Yeah, and so look at www.consciousworldagents.com, and you will find all the information about the Experience Day, and also about
our program. Yeah, program, and about leadership training that we give, and so forth, and speaking and all that. But that's all on there. So have a good browse over the weekend, and I think it was a very good. Good chat.
Half an hour again.
We love doing this. We like to do it very casual. So as you can see, we come up with questions, and we've had a busy day today. Yeah. But it's just so wonderful to see you all here. Thank you so much for tuning in, for being with us.
Yes.
And we're going to put this also on our YouTube channel, so and we'll leave it on here as well. So thank you for watching, and we'll hope to see you next week. And we wish you a wonderful and restful weekend.
Yeah. Much love.
Lots of love. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you. I think is there Fiona?
Is
Do I
that-
see Fiona? My pal.
Fiona, massive. Thank you both.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And let's go also. Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for being here, and we'll put it on the Facebook site now, and then you can watch it later if you tuned in later. So thank you very much.
Have a great weekend.
Bye for now.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.